So there's this story going around. I saw this story like, I don't know, a few months ago, but I saw the video too, and for some reason it's blowing up again. I'm seeing it all over the social medias and Facebook and Twitter, all that stuff. Basically, this woman, Emily Letts, uh, decided that she was going to film her experience getting an abortion. And she submitted it as a video contest and won because it was just so empowering to women. And this is the article here. Becoming an abortion counselor was kind of unexpected. This is her talking. I was a professional actress for many years. I loved acting, blah, 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 but then I didn't really like it. I had a friend who was a birth doula, and she fascinated me with her stories about giving birth and growing life. This is particularly interesting because here she's being drawn to birth, to life. I mean, she's seen babies come to life, or at least seeing their life for the first time. And she's fascinated with it. Okay, it sounds normal. Some people are, okay, yeah, you think that's a cool thing, yeah. But it really gets disturbing. This really gets disturbing. It led me to start looking at my body in a whole different way. I became what's called a birth junkie. I trained as a doula and watched every documentary I could get my hands on. During my training, I learned that there are three kinds of doulas: birth doulas, adoption doulas, and abortion doulas. A light went off in my head. What kind of person do you have to be attracted to fascinated with something, right? I mean, it could be anything. Like, you don't go, man, I love architecture. And then when I got into demolition, it really satisfied me. Like, look, even if you don't think that a fetus deserves any rights, you gotta admit that's a little screwed up. And when you're talking about life, that's more screwed up. All right. I mean, if it was, if this was, imagine this woman said, "Oh yeah, I was really, fascinated, looking at a farm and seeing the little ducks be born, little ducklings. Oh, the little cute ducklings. It was so cute, and I loved it. Blah blah blah. And then I found out that you can assist." Killing the ducks. Like, look, there's not gonna be many people who argue like you shouldn't, killing ducks is like murder or something. Not many people are gonna argue that like killing ducks is murder. But you've got to realize what you're attracted to the cute little ducklings, and then you go at the first opportunity you can get at killing them, at assisting killing them. That's a little messed up. And when it's human beings we're talking about and not ducks, it's a lot more messed up. I had never been political about abortion rights before, but the idea of helping women through an abortion and supporting them and reassuring them that they are still wonderful and beautiful resonated deeply with me. The stereotypical abortion is helping women. I mean, it's just so out there. Does anyone entertain? Is anyone on the pro-choice, the supposed pro-choice side? Right, because they say, oh, I'm pro-choice, but I wouldn't do it myself. I don't know why you wouldn't do it yourself if, the fetus is just a clump of cells and, doesn't it's just like getting a haircut. I mean, I don't know why, why wouldn't you do that yourself? But the idea of helping women, and this this debate always turns into a gender thing. Like, if you're pro-life, you must hate women. Like, if you're anti-slavery, you must hate white people. It's not quite the same thing because black people did own slaves and black people do own slaves today, but you get the point. What? I mean, you go to the oppressor immediately and then you say, oh, you must hate women. You're really helping out women by giving them the option to kill their babies. I mean, do the pro-choicers entertain the thought at all that, hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe killing children before that 9-month period, before that arbitrary line of 9 months, it is unethical, is not okay, is murder. I mean, does that cross the mind? Because if it is murder, if that arbitrary line of 9 months is just a little off, do you know what the conclusions are that follow that? 50 million. 50 million babies are killed every single year worldwide because of abortion. Continuing on with the story. It resonated with me, helping women. I had spent so long in the trappings of competition with other women acting, blah, blah, blah. I reached out to Cherry Hill right after I finished my training and asked to volunteer, but instead they asked me to come in for a job interview, and she was hired. I found out I was pregnant in November. I had been working at the clinic for about a year. It was my first pregnancy, and full disclosure, I hadn't been using any kind of birth control, which is crazy, I know. I'm a sex educator and talking about birth control. But she decided go ahead and just not use that for... Because why? I mean, why do that when you can just get yourself an abortion? Working at an abortion clinic, you always think you're pregnant after hearing day in, day out stories from women not knowing they're pregnant. Okay, on a whim, I took a test and it came up 2 pink lines. The moment when a woman looks down and sees those 2 pink lines and she's not expecting to see them, it's like time implodes and explodes simultaneously. You're caught in this tornado that just sucks out all the breath in your lungs. Now, to me, this is kind of a case for the opposite, because if it's just a clump of cells, right? Like if it's this, it's just if it's no big deal, then why is it just, oh my God, I'm pregnant? I mean, this is someone who's adamantly pro-choice, who has no regard to even take birth control because she knows, I can just get an abortion if I ever, why bother to lift up a pill and, ingest it? I mean, that's a lot of friggin' work. So, I can just get an abortion. I mean, why is it so... when you're pregnant? I mean, if it's just it's like getting a haircut, I mean, pro-choicers love to compare a zygote to one of your hairs. They say it's morally the same thing. Okay, so getting a haircut, it's the same thing as murdering a child. Yeah, okay. But if it's like getting a haircut, I mean, that's like looking in the mirror and going, oh my God, my hair is too long. I have to get a haircut. Like, if you really believe that getting an abortion is morally equivalent to getting a haircut, then stand by it. You know? Then why is it this, oh, I guess I have to get an abortion. Right? I mean, if it's just no big deal, if it's just a clump of cells of nothingness, just who cares, total disregard, then why is it a big deal? Once I caught my breath, I knew immediately I was going to have an abortion. I knew I wasn't ready to take care of a child. The guy wasn't involved in my decision. I called my supervisor and said, "Excuse me, I'm going to need to schedule one abortion, please." It was very early in the pregnancy, only 2 to 3 weeks. And look, this is another. People think like, oh, because it's early in pregnancy, I mean, it's hardly developed. We don't put value on babies because of their immediate merit. We put value on babies because of their potential. I mean, a dog is a lot smarter than an infant. But killing an infant is worse than killing a dog. I shouldn't have to explain that, okay? Killing an infant is worse than killing a pig, we can at least agree. A pig is a lot smarter than an infant. We don't value babies, young children, because of their immediate merit, but because of their potential merit. So this line of like, oh, it was early in the pregnancy, so I mean, it's just so irrelevant. It's just so irrelevant. And then like pain. Oh well, he doesn't feel pain. Like, okay, so if I kill you in your sleep, I mean, you have the potential to wake up in the morning. And you're not going to feel any pain if I use the right injection or whatever, so I mean, it must be fine, in your immediate condition, you're not a fully intelligent person, you're not a totally intelligent, functioning member of society. Yeah, you might have the potential to wake up later, but who cares? Patients at the clinic ask me if I can relate to them. Okay, so when patients come to the clinic, and go, I need to get an abortion. They ask, oh, can you relate? Have I had an abortion? Do I have kids? I was so used to saying, I've never had an abortion, but ... While I was pregnant and waiting for my procedure, I thought, wait a minute, I can use this. So, she schedules the termination of her offspring, and what she's thinking is, this is gonna make a great story. I should videotape this and show everyone how empowering it is to women. I mean, how sick can you be? This is a sick human being. At first, I was just going to write a blog. Then my administrator introduced me to a woman on YouTube who goes by Angie Antitheist. She filmed herself having a medical abortion, blah, blah, blah. There was, of course, a huge backlash, blah, blah, blah. She's talking about the other woman. I searched the internet, and I couldn't find a video of an actual surgical procedure in the clinic that focused on the woman's experience. Well, no freaking kidding, you can't find that. The abortion facility will be shut down within days. I mean, of course you can't find that. But the video that she put out only focused on her face, her reaction, so it wasn't graphic in any way. There are 3 options for a first trimester abortion: medical abortion, which is the pill, a surgical abortion with IV sedation while you're asleep, and a surgical abortion with local anesthetics during which you're awake. Women are most terrified of being awake. I could have taken the pill, but I wanted to do the one that women were most afraid of. I wanted to show it wasn't scary and that there is such a thing as a positive abortion story. It's my story. So, this woman works for an abortion clinic. And basically what she's admitting here is that she's never once in her experience of working there for a year seen a woman go in positively about it. I mean, it's supposed to be morally equivalent to getting a haircut, and you don't have to take care of kids, you don't have to worry about the expenses, you don't have to worry about going through all that crazy paperwork of, putting your kid up for adoption. I mean, it's a great thing. If it's so just morally great, why is she implicitly admitting here that every single woman that she has experienced working with viewed the abortion negatively? Everyone at the clinic was really supportive of filming it. At first, they wanted to sit down and talk about the real consequences of this. There are a lot of politics involved. We knew we could have hundreds of protesters at our door. We could have bomb threats. Working at an abortion clinic, every once in a while, it feels like you're working in a war zone. Because it's worse than a war zone. In a war zone, you're killing people who have a fighting chance. I mean, in a war zone, it's murder. It's straight up murder. But you're killing people who have a fighting chance. What you're doing, it's so much worse. I mean, it's so much worse. But I said, bring it! And they were on board. Oh my freaking God. First night I posted the video on my Facebook page. I couldn't sleep. Then I looked at my Facebook wall. I was expecting this tsunami of hateful, scary things, but everyone was so breathtakingly supportive. This is the problem with the right being too damn polite. Because for a leftist, right, like if you don't support gay marriage, then you're a freaking evil person. Like, you are going to get hate. You're going to freaking, there's going to be no end, right? But here is a woman taping herself murdering her offspring, who she conceived not by accident, but by having consensual sex with lots of guys with no birth control, filming the experience, saying it's a positive experience, right? Because she's never experienced one woman who has viewed abortion as a positive thing, so she had to freaking make one. And instead of a uproar, breathtakingly supportive. Just breathtakingly supportive. If there was a clinic that opened up in California that burned gays, that murdered defenseless gay people, and somebody filmed because he had never heard of anyone having a positive experience murdering a homosexual. So he went ahead and did it himself. And he filmed the experience and said, "This is so great. Murdering that homosexual, getting the gays out of our life. It's so wonderful." Forgetting the legality of it, let's just say it's legal. you imagine? I mean, could you imagine? I mean, he'd be dead. The people would hunt him down and kill that man. They would torture him. I mean, there's no way. There's just no way. And here is this murderous, disgusting piece of crap human being murdering her child and making it a positive experience. And the reaction? Breathtakingly supportive. The right's too damn polite. I had one woman message me saying she had an abortion, and that was great. There were hateful responses, of course, which was the hardest part of this whole thing. When I put it on YouTube, pro-lifers put on their newscasts, and so I got, "You're a Nazi. You deserve to die. You killed your baby." Just so much blind hatred without knowing who I am or what I'm about. Still, every time I watch the video, I love it. I love how positive it is. I think there are just no positive abortion stories on video for everyone to see, but mine is. I know there are women who feel great remorse. I have seen the tears. Grieving is an important part of a woman's process, but what I really wanted to address in my video is guilt. Our society breeds this guilt. We inhale it from all directions. Even women who come to the clinic completely solid in their decision to have an abortion say they feel guilty for not feeling guilty. Even though they know 110% this is the best decision for them, they pressure themselves to feel bad about it. I didn't feel bad. I do feel a little irresponsible and embarrassed about not using birth control. I mean, Emily, wake up. What are you doing? I was going against the advice I give to patients all the time. So I had them put an IUD in after the abortion. I was able to learn and move forward. And I am grateful that I can share my story and inspire other women to stop the guilt. Yeah, and you know what? There was this video that went viral like a few years ago, but it just recently surfaced again. And it was about this girl who took little puppies out of a bucket and threw them in the river. And every single comment was like, I don't support the death penalty, but in this case, it should be implemented. I mean, just every what a disgusting piece of human. Okay, you have to. So, killing puppies. We get that's bad. But a woman filming herself murder her own child is empowering to women. I mean, what kind of screwed up society do we live in? Thanks for watching my video. The liberals wouldn't like it if I killed you on camera, would they? No. There would be an outrage, because their morality is all screwed up.